We're going to kick off with the 3 events for March. Then we're going to go into renewal conversation tips and then into dealing with difficult conversations. Now, if you guys like this style of training, if you want all the worksheets and all the resources that we talk about, make sure that you go to sparkwithsprout.com and you sign up for Spark at the introductory rate of $7. Come on, guys. It's like as much as a tea at Starbucks would cost you, right? Or a latte. And when you think about that, you're always going to get about 12 downloadable resources. So you'll get your planning calendars with the creative holidays. You'll get a blank calendar, a marketing snapshot, a marketing checklist. You're also going to get a resource or a tip for appreciation, for marketing, for renewals. So there's a little something in there for everyone. And a lot of the people that are inside of Spark are individual property managers that are paying out of pocket. So I want this to be as packed with value as you can. This is great for the person that's having to DIY it themselves. So let's get into it. I want you guys to see what's inside of the membership. Here's a little snippet, a little preview. If you love it, we'll see you on the inside at sparkwithsprout.com. We know that March is when we spring forward, so we thought it would be a fun opportunity to do a spring forward picnic event, and we're calling this one Gather and Grow. So again, pick a weekend around daylight savings time, which is March 9th this year, and encourage residents to bring blankets, folding chairs, or picnic baskets. So you could do this in your courtyard, or if you have a rooftop, you could do it at a local park or an indoor lounge if the weather is still too cold. You can plan a seasonal menu with spring-inspired snacks, things like fresh fruit, cheese boards, sandwiches, and salads. And this is the time that you want to do things like lemonade and iced tea or fruit-infused water, and some sweet treats like mini cupcakes, fruit tarts, or cookies decorated with flowers. I could also see some edible arrangements with fruit that could be really fun in the shape of flowers. You can add fun activities like a spring photo booth with a flower-filled backdrop. You can do some outdoor games like cornhole or frisbee or giant Jenga, or a DIY flower arranging station, which could be really fun. And just make sure that you make it feel like spring, even if it's cold outside. So use a pastel tablecloth, floral centerpieces, and string lights, and provide the picnic blankets or lawn chairs for comforts, or ask residents to bring their own. You can have lanterns or candles if you're doing it later in the day for an evening glow. And then make sure that you get a ton of pictures so that you can share it on social. You can even encourage residents to dress up in their best spring outfits or creative picnic setups, and then do a prize for whoever wins in their category. So here are some great signs, and I wanted to show you guys exactly what's in the collection. Here's how we did up our picnic ourselves. An event that I'm loving is a Chips and Coke to go event. This is just an easy one, guys. And I love events that are easy. I know so many of you are so busy, and who doesn't love a quick snack break? So a soda and a bag of chips are a simple way to just delight residents. You can put it in an actual little bag with a handle. Select a day and a time when foot traffic is high. I think afternoons would be great. People getting home from work or from school. Set up a convenient location like the leasing office, the clubhouse, or maybe near the mail room where people are coming and going. You could even do it at the gate. You can stock up on supplies, a whole different assortment of chips. You know, Costco and Sam's, they always have those big boxes of the snack bags, and have different Coca-Cola products, including Diet Coke, Coke Zero. This event is so simple, and yet it's an effective way to engage with residents, to show appreciation, and just build a community atmosphere that is fun. And you can take pictures too and showcase it on social. Now, this is part of your Spark this month, so you're going to get the labels that you can add to your bags. You can cut out the labels and use them as gift tags, or you can print them on Avery labels. Just make sure you get number 5163 and then apply those stickers after you print them. So, quick tip, if you're going to print the labels, make sure your printer setting is adjusted to print at 100% so that the designs fit perfectly. Our last event might be my favorite. It is Read Across America month, and you could do a book swap with a Dr. Seuss theme. So you can set the date. March 2nd through the 6th is Read Across America week, and you can pick a time that you think your residents will like. If this doesn't work, you could also try to coordinate it with your spring break and center the event around Dr. Seuss's books and have residents bring a book that they'd like to swap. You see all these little mini libraries pop up. I have several in my neighborhood, and I check them all the time when I'm walking my dog. You could set up a swap table where you have different age group tables, so for children, teens, and adults. And so you could open up the themes and have a designated area where books can be dropped off, and another one where books can be swapped. You can hand out Dr. Seuss inspired bookmarks or activity sheets. It can really feel like your own scholastic fair, which was my favorite day at school. You can also play Dr. Seuss audiobooks or read excerpts aloud for added fun, and have light refreshments like snacks, drinks, even some themed treats like green eggs and ham cupcakes or a cake decorated with Dr. Seuss characters. You guys, check out this collection. Autumn, our designer, absolutely crushed it. These two right here, we like you here, we like you there, we like you anywhere, but mostly here. How cute would these be in little frames on your table setup where you have a display for people to drop off books? And here's these little libraries that we talked about. So this is an event that promotes literacy, so it encourages reading. It celebrates Dr. Seuss's legacy. And a book swap is a way to be sustainable by giving books a second chance at life. So again, you could do it as a book swap. You could do it as a storytelling event. You could do it as just a fun place for people to gather. You could even set up a photo booth backdrop and have them take pictures as well with some of their favorite Dr. Seuss props. In this month's coaching video, I wanted to put an emphasis on getting comfortable handling renewal conversations, and specifically when renewal rates are higher than what some current market rates are. It's so challenging, right? Nobody likes to know that their rent is going up or that they're going to be paying more than they think they should be paying. So empathy is going to be so important, and that's going to come across in things like our tone of voice, our facial expressions, our gestures. We know it can be difficult. Sometimes just a few phrases can be helpful. So saying things like, I completely understand that this price increase can be really frustrating, and I appreciate that you are taking the time to talk to me about it. Or, I know this is probably not the news that you were hoping for, but I want to be as transparent as possible and share a little bit about why the rates have changed and why this still is the best value for you. You can even explain how apartment rates are like airfare. Likely many people have traveled before, and it really fluctuates based on timing, availability, and demand. New resident rates are often promotional to fill vacancies, while renewal rates reflect the value of securing your home long term. These rates are designed to be fair based on current market trends and not a reflection of any kind of favoritism. So again, letting them know, likely when they moved in, they got a promotional rate and their price was based on what the market was demanding at that time. And so again, just like airfare, it's going to fluctuate and it's going to be dependent on their unit, their lease term, the time of the year, and the availability of that specific unit. Another one is the cost of moving reality. So this one says, while the new resident rate might seem tempting, moving comes with significant costs. Things like movers, deposits, utility transfers, and then your time, which is, invaluable. When you add those up, renewing often saves money, time, and stress. I'd love to share our cost of moving worksheet to break this down for you. I want to talk through navigating challenges with confidence. The worksheet in our communication section is specifically for how to diffuse a situation when things are going, wrong, or when we face things, typical things, maintenance issues, miscommunications, late fees, noise complaints. These are things that we deal with regularly. So if someone is raising their voice or if someone is beginning to cuss, these are a few of the things that I like to say. So I can say, you know what, I can hear in your voice how frustrated you are. I want to help you find a solution, but I need us to have a respectful conversation to get there. Can we agree to do that? Another one, you could say, I'm happy to discuss this with you, but I can't continue this conversation if there's going to be yelling or cursing. So when you set firm boundaries, like saying, I understand you're upset, but I need this conversation to be respectful, and I'm sure we can come to a solution. So you hear how my voice is very firm. I'm not shaky. I'm not apologizing. I'm letting them know I hear you. I want to help you. At the same time, I do have parameters that we're going to have to stay in within this conversation. And you know your residents. Sometimes there's wording, like sometimes people say, well, let's take a deep breath and start fresh. But here's some scripts. And again, I just want to hone in on the phrases. You guys can read these yourself, but with a maintenance issue, I understand how frustrating it can be when something in your home isn't working as it should. Just start by saying that and then pause. All right, friends, I hope you got at least one tip that you can put into practice, whether it's one of the events or a phrase that you're going to use for those renewal conversations, or it's something that you're going to use to diffuse a challenging situation. We are going into March with confidence and with a plan. So we'll see you inside a Spark. I cannot wait to connect with you there, where we have a little bit more of coaching like this, but deeper dives with strategy and some tips to make your life as a property manager easier. If you like this episode and you've gotten value, make sure that you hit the subscribe, leave us a rating, leave us a review wherever you're listening. This helps us reach more property managers, and that is my mission. As a former property manager, I just want to make your life easier. I want to connect with as many property managers nationwide. I want to make sure that not only are you crushing it at your 9 to 5, but that your 5 to 9, when you're home, when you're with your friends, when you're with your family, you're not as stressed because you know your marketing and your retention and your social is covered. All right, guys, that's a wrap on today's multifamily mix. Keep shaking things up at your community, your career, and most importantly, your life. Until we mix and mingle again, see you next week, friend.